So we can wait another minute or two, and then just an update. Julie texted and she's not feeling well at all. She has just started the recording, but she will not be on the call with us this morning. So we are going to conduct this together. And I think Linda will be joining us. I don't know about Shelley, whether she will be with us or not. But let's give it another minute and then we can get started here.
And is Shelley still in Florida with her
Shelley
mother?
is still in Florida with her mom. Yes. They moved her mom into hospice. And so we will see what happens from there. Yeah.
Well, maybe we could, as we're waiting, just hold Shelley and her mom in our hearts and in our prayers and our very, very best blessings for her transition time.
Yes.
Aren't we all in that state? So let's have that blessing for the transition of all of us.
Yes.
Yeah, I need that.
Okay, so we'll let's get started, and Henry's going to make the initiation.
I invite you to open to your breath, to open to this moment. Let the sound in this bowl represent the chalice of our open hearts, opening for the good of our planet, the good of each one of us, the good of the whole. At this time, inviting healing, inviting inspiration, inviting transformation. I pass the sounding bowl to John.
Beautiful, Henry. Thank you. Well, welcome, team. For those of you that may not have been on, Kate, you just came on. Thank you for being here. Julie is not feeling well at all this morning. She came on and started the recording for us, and she's going to go lie down and rest. So we are going to manage this ourselves as a team, which we are. And so just some information to start us off. So the advisory council met yesterday or Monday. We are going to initiate, and we don't know, we're working on the specifics right now. Any input is what we're requesting for today. Started out, and we want to have this happen very rapidly. Glenn Head said he would like to start Friday. We don't think we can do that. Hopefully get it organized by Monday. We had talked numerous times about a 24-hour open forum on Zoom. I don't believe that's going to happen, but here are the things that have been thrown out that seem have gotten traction, and would love to have input on this. Knowing our national global situation right now with the coronavirus, with the majority of people now and in the near future being quarantined to their homes, a lot in fear and a lot in navigating this situation. There are a number of, and in Boulder, Nahid, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are already some places to call in or check in with questions or with concerns or just whatever is needed. And so anyway, we are going to initiate a good of the whole. Hi, Linda. Good morning. Zoom call, and what we're looking at is just for the initial format to have 1 hour segments that those of us that would like to manage that segment, and Linda was on this call so she can clarify where I'm maybe confused, but and so that, and there are a couple of names for that, but we would actually have a singular, and I think Julie is attempting to get this set up, singular Zoom call, good of the whole Zoom call that will simultaneously be Facebook Live. And therefore we would have each one of us or whomever would want to participate take an hour during the day of a focus of using your gifts and talents or something that you would bring forward, that then and spread that out to our networks, knowing that Good of the Whole has this available, and so that people can join a Zoom call, which again would be Facebook Live supported, and we would monitor, be available to bring forth a message around what might be good or helpful or raising the vibration of the fear, whatever it might be that comes from your center, to hold that space for others to join the Zoom call, whomever might want to do that, and participate or simply listen or ask questions or whatever it might be, using this format as a center for grounding our, like I said, gifts and talents and the possibility of how we can serve the larger population. Want to add to that, Linda?
Thanks, John. No, you said everything perfectly, because this is the beginning of something new for Good of the Whole, and we're all in this together. Everything is new. Our being sequestered because of the coronavirus is new. We are realizing that we're the chrysalis. We are the imaginal cells. So however this unfolds, it's exactly how it should be. And we're ready for this, all of us. And we don't know what it's going to look like. It's just a way for us to really open our hearts and be available. It's like the doors to the mothership are open. And if we have always said we're here to support and nurture you because it is for the good of the whole, that's exactly what this new format will be, until we can hone it and perfect it. There's no perfection to it. You know, just make it be something that is so natural. In the beginning, it might feel awkward, but we want it to just be natural for us to be here, so that when people think, oh, you know, I'm alone, we really want to support them, knowing that what they do and how they're thinking and behaving is for the good of the whole. It's for everyone in their family and their community. And now our whole country, the whole world is needing to think that way. So I'm sorry I was late this morning. If we had an attunement, I apologize. I thought my computer was on so I could just zip onto it, but it had to boot up. And I want to wish Julie good get well wishes. We need Julie. I can see that your picture's there, but you know, sometimes when we're not feeling up to 100%, we just want to listen. So sending you lots of healing and love. We all need to stay well. We all need to be our highest immune response. So stay well, everybody. John, we went over so many things on our call Monday. I hope Julie left you notes. So I'm here to support, you know, all of us in what we're going to do immediately moving forward.
Great, Linda. Thank you so much. As always, it's easy to feel your love. Glenn is with us as well, who was on the call. So welcome, Glenn, and any input. We've begun talking about our Good of the Whole Zoom process that will be also Facebook Live simultaneously. And just to move a little bit further with this, and Linda, as you were saying, I know Julie has notes. I know we all have, and yet we are grounding and expanding this as we speak. It's our gift and responsibility to bring this into fruition. And we really do, as I said when we started off, would like to get this started as soon as possible, in that this is a very critical moment when many more people are available that can be reached and helped. So just to go back over those, Henry, go ahead, please.
Just two quick pieces. John, when you mentioned about people being confined, or at least more time at home, that I guess that linked with maybe perhaps a focus of opening to the home frequency that we speak about as one of the pieces that we kind of center around. And the second part is also that I mentioned our last meeting, is also with a focus on thriving during these times, and how, you know, how we can support that in people. And I'm complete.
Absolutely, Henry, and that's beautifully said, and that is the kind of input. And let's just have a moment of fantasy, a fantasy picture of what this might be, and what we talked about. And of course, this is, and it's as Linda lovingly said, this is in the chrysalis stage of everything. But Henry, suppose you took an hour during our Zoom, and from what you just said, designed an hour space around that, and therefore that would be what could be brought into, flushed, flourished, or whatever. We also talked about maybe starting every hour with a kind of using the Monday morning heart resonance call as the format for whatever the reflection then would be. And each one of us holding an hour would bring a reflection, do a centering, and then a reflection that would hold the space for the interactions and the coming into union with anyone that would want to join during that time frame. Now I'm throwing out an hour. Actually, Glenn Head, in his grandness and graciousness, said he'd take 2 or 3 hours, which is great. So what I'm saying is it's all open for interpretation and growth and flourishing. And so that's the basic message. And I'm going to be quiet now, be complete, and allow anyone, Glenn, you were there on Monday. Again, Linda was, but if anyone has any input to bring this fruition to its next level, because we really would like to start this fairly soon. So I'm complete.
I have a question. Yes, I was on that call, but I need a refresher from Julie and Glenn and you, John. That did we put a handle on what this hour would be, what we're going to call this? I know we've talked about resonant radio. Is there a handle on exactly what we're going to call this? Did I miss that? Can you refresh me?
Glenn?
Well, hi everybody first.
Hi, Glenn.
Great to see you all. So yeah, we talked about being the field of connection. So the vision that I'm holding right now is that we initially find 12 people to take 2 hours each. So we actually cover 24 hours, every time zone in the world. And we, in the 2 hours that I have, top of the hour, first 5 minutes is maybe an introduction, then a 10 or 15 minute meditation, which might be guided, might have music, might be quiet, up to you, up to me. And then a time for conscious listening and maybe meditative dialogue, but simply be at a place where people can share whatever's going on with them and connect. So keeping it very, in the initial time, at least very simple, not having to organize a time of an hour kind of a presentation at all, but simply creating a space for people to check in, be who they are, talk about whatever wants to be talked about. And then I would see bringing in what I would call a co-host for my 2 hours. And so initially I might do that 2 hours myself, and then I would invite other people, might be reverends from my Center for Spiritual Living, might be one of you guys, might be someone else, people that we know that would share the hosting of that hour. So actually I wouldn't have to do it we're talking every day now, every day, 24 hours a day. Maybe initially we start with 12, but 20, basically going toward an everyday thing. And that might go on for the next year. It might go on for as long as this goes on. And so we have co-hosts so that I don't have to be there every day, so they can carry the space. But I'm responsible for that block of time, for finding someone to be conscious in that space and hold that space for whoever shows up, whenever they show up, and talk about whatever we talk about after a consistent meditation time that we hold. And so again, working not to get it very complex or complicated at all, but to keep it simple and have an endless opportunity for people to connect and share and collaborate and talk about what's on their heart. And we are just holding a space for conscious listening and connection, and also inviting people, maybe during the meditation, maybe there's a screen up on that says, welcome to Good of the Whole. join us. Go to gotothewhole.com to join other conversations that we have, donate, participate with us in however it fits for you. So there's an offering for them to join more of our programs. And man, I think that's kind of about it. I don't know. Thoughts, Linda? Or so I'm complete about that for now.
So just thanks, Glenn. Nice rendition of what we went over. I had a nice conversation with Shelley down in Florida, me in Boulder, she in Florida, yesterday about this, and she was very excited about it. And as we were talking about the name, which is still in flux, although what Glenn just said was what we'd come up with to date. But we had talked about, and Shelley came up with connection for the good of the whole as the basic, so that, and we both kind of decided that good of the whole should certainly somewhere be in that holding space for everything. So connecting with good of the whole, or connection for the good of the whole, that was just one more piece. And let me just say this. For me, just me personally, and then I'm dying to hear from everyone else. The 24-hour thing seems like a lot to start, and I feel as though the majority of our outreach is going to be within the half a dozen time zones of our people, which obviously includes you, Glenn. But I personally feel like maybe if we start a little bit more concise, maybe 8 hours a day, we had talked about that, and see and get at least the format down, and then expand it out as things go along. And let me just say, so I get this out of the way, I spent some time on this yesterday. I called some of my friends and cohorts and associates in the local area, and I have a medical person, I have a body worker person, I have a healer and a therapist that is dealing with, and instead of co-hosting with me, I said for my first hour or 2 hours or whatever it might be, would you please commit to come on to the Zoom call and be part of the local community that holds the space for the larger good of the whole. And I got almost immediate commitments from 3 or 4 saying that sounds like an incredible thing that's needed. And so what my intention with that is to establish the Zoom call and the Facebook Live piece as a successful entity for my first foray into this, knowing that I'm going to have input, listening, discussion, and then, you know, and of course this is going to go out to all of our friends, constituents, or whatever you want to say, and see whom else might come and join. So that was just my first hit as to where I was going with it, just to get it established. And so with that, I am complete for now, and open it up, please.
So just for a little extra inspiration, since this is the first time that most of us here are hearing about this, my part possibly would be something like lunchtime with Linda, or something about a children's hour, you know, story time. For maybe, you know, it's hard to get the right timing when we've got 6 time zones, but something where there's you know, that these families at home with their children, not knowing what to do, that maybe they all just pop on this call, my hour, and we read stories or we just have discussion and we let the kids have a safe place. So again, that's just something that's been bubbling up for me, and I certainly welcome anyone here. I know Grace and I had talked about doing something together, and this might be part of that, because none of us are being together physically. So I'm not going to come to Louisville. I was supposed to go to Louisville this weekend to see my dad. I'm not doing that. So this is our connection. And yeah, so that's just my part of it at this point, possibly.
I think the beautiful thing about this is that each host will bring forth their own authentic self and express what's really in your heart, in our heart, in my heart, and those whom we attract to be part of our heart. I mean, when I put it on my Facebook page, there'll be, each of us putting it out in a way that that suits us. Then I feel like that it won't be long. Our Zoom account initially will handle up to 100 people. So that's the limit we can have unless we want to raise that amount. And we'll each need to learn a little bit about managing Zoom so that we can mute everybody and remove someone if we need to for any reason, but just have some basic Zoom skills. But those are not hard to accomplish. And then you get to express who you are through this piece, and allow others to come and join with you, and we can all bounce around into each other's hours as support, and just know that, and people will get to know that when Linda's call is about the kids, and if they're in Hawaii, they'll know that call's at 4 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning, or not 2, but 10 in the morning, or it's 6 hours. Right now it's 5 a.m. for me out here. So it's dark 30 outside. And so depending on our time zones, if I'm anchoring the end of the day, for instance, at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock for me is 9 at night East Coast time, 9 to 11 and East Coast. So, the 6-hour time zone differences. So looking at how we anchor this up and put this together, we cover a lot of space for people to have a lot of choices. And given that all of us are redesigning the way that we live our lives and the way our days work, I talked to 3 or 4 people also like you did, John, yesterday, and all of them were saying, when are we getting on? So, I think, we could start this thing Monday, or we're talking right away. I think as soon as Julie gets we're going to get a Zoom account that's, from Good to the Whole, so that we'll have one Zoom number. And basically it's a handoff. So Linda's doing her children's thing, and maybe I'm following her. So, I pop in a little, 5 minutes before she's done, and she sees me come on, and she makes me a co-host and welcomes me. We have a little talk, kind of like Rachel Maddow does with the people that come before her and follow her. We just kind of dance this thing together, and there is no right way or perfect way to do it. We each have our flexibility in our dance, and we just do what we can do because we can. I'm complete.
Related to,
Oh,
go ahead, Karen.
I was just going to say, I have a lot of thoughts coming through now. I do have to leave the call early today. I'm very sorry to say something has come up, but I'm having a lot of ideas coming through. So you can count me in. I am going to get in touch with Rosemary to see if she'd like to participate and do some things in Spanish for the Hispanic community, not only in the United States, but here in Costa Rica. And there's a large group, an ASEAN group and all kinds of things down that she's part of down in the southern zone. I'm in the northern zone. So to see if we can't get some things going internationally.
That I'll jump on that. I'll say we could have another number that could be the whole duplicate thing, but all in Spanish.
Oh, wow. Well, let me
I
see if
mean, why couldn't
Rosemary's
we do
game
that?
for that.
You know,
Yeah.
because there's bunches of us out in the world who are conscious and want to play. And I mean, I know people in Australia and Singapore and different. I mean, there are people that are going to hear about this and jump on it from our networks. And I think people are hungry for, you know, well, we'll see what the calling is for it, you know, and do it as long as it makes sense. But I could see a number that's totally for our Spanish speaking brothers and sisters.
And my contribution would probably be an hour that has to do something with healing on some level. So I'll stay on the call as long as I can in the background. And were you planning to do this every day or every day?
Every day,
Okay.
every day.
Good to know. All right. Well, I'll think on how I can help with this. And the greatest challenge for me will be the technology with the Zoom. So if people will be willing to help me with that, that would be awesome. So, all right. Well, thank you all. I think this is a wonderful idea. And I'm complete for now.
So I had a thought for a handle is perhaps, excuse me, Earth, Heart, Connection, or Earth, Heart, Resonance, Connection. But that may be too many words. And actually have been thinking about making an evening that was talked about before, an evening global heart resonance. And so I, you know, I see it also, you know, starting with themes or different themes. And I wrote down a list of themes like slowing down, listening, relaxation, going deeper, what is essential, other things too, but also for me, you know, I would bring in healing sound to that, which I did actually for those who were at the beginning of the call, you know, just bringing sound in some way. And yeah, so connection was good. Last piece, one idea that I had maybe for our Earth Day around that was 7 days of connection. So each might focus on, and here are possibilities: earth, trees, waters, birds, heaven, sky, creator, great mystery, children, then including the child within us, you know, as different. So anyway, that, you know, those are different possible themes, and probably there are more related to connection, and I'm complete.
So Henry, you bring up a good point, and that is, I would be willing to bet that each one of us has at least a half a dozen different threads that we could bring in, so that let's just say, and the other thing is that I don't know if I could do every day for 2 hours, 7 days a week. I don't know if I'd be available for that, but I know what I could commit to, and then like all the threads that you just brought in, Henry, those are beautiful pieces that, you know, you could do one of those each day for 7 days, and we won't have to have a consistent theme coming from each of us. We can go into our heart space and our intuition and say, I have a half a dozen different things that I could hold the space for, and parse those out over a period of time. And I'll be quiet because I have to let my dog out.
John, you're exactly right about that piece too. And it really wouldn't require you to be there every day either, because that would be that would be how we would bring in co-hosts that would take on days for us. So there would be as many days as we would choose that we would not be present physically, but we created our own little team that handles, you know, around that hour or 2 hour block. So we're not over committed or burdened.
Yeah, I think that feels a little less intimidating to say maybe I can do an hour, you know, commit to that every single day at that time, because we're not going out to work. If many of us were, we would be on our schedules. So this is our work schedule now. It's the new paradigm. And Henry, I love your idea, and that sparked for me. You all know about Pachamama pajamas, and I'm stuck because I can't get to the place of having them physically manufactured. But what if Pachamama pajamas turned out to just be a you know, like a virtual place, holding space idea for the story hour? Maybe it could be 8 o'clock at night, that, you know, everybody puts on their Pachamama pajamas and we sit around the campfire here on our little Zoom call and let the kids talk about these things that Pachamama pajamas is supposed to be bringing to them, a sense of safety, a sense of having dreams that connect them to the different elements that Henry was talking about. So we're all inspiring each other. So don't feel like you're stuck in a square of, I can only talk about this. You know, it's the whole kit and caboodle. And Good of the Whole is doing this so that we can be here. You don't know what will come up with people who are on your call. And we're not to heal, fix, or control the whole situation. We're listening. We're compassionately listening. So we don't have to worry about being certified as therapists. We are just friends reaching out to each other in this time of, you know, who knows if we're going to be quarantined for weeks or months. I mean, who knows? So at least we can put out there that sense of calm, and it's all right. We're all in this together. We don't know. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking and hear from everyone else. Thanks.
Well, I would like to jump in. First of all, we are on the Global Heart Math Global Coherence Call. So right now, the coherence we're generating as a group, I'm putting it through my ear and my heart and into the field. So globally, we're with 15 other people all over the world sending love into the field right now. So just want to let you know that. Second thing, this last night I got up at 2 a.m., 2 to 4, writing down all this personal heart bubble hour and the global love bubble hour. So personal heart power hour and the global love bubble hour. And so each, for me, we would teach a tool for, there's 5 personal heart states: the whole heart, where your whole heart, content heart, half-hearted, reactive heart, and disconnected heart. And me and Michelle are writing a book right now, and we're just about on the tools section, which is funny. So what came up for me is every day I could just share a tool, and we could practice. We could be in the field, like how to shift from fear mode, how to shift from a fear-focused life to a love-focused life, from fear-focused heart to a love-focused heart. So every day it could be just another little tool that we could share and talk about and practice. So it would be instructional, but in a fun, loving way. We do a little meditation, open it up. Everybody do a little check-in, open it up. But we teach a tool every day. And then I could alternate in the global love bubble hour being every other day, or I don't know, I could at least do 1 hour. I thought, wow, holding for 2 hours is pretty, be holding the field for that long. I would start with 1. I would prefer 1 and then bulk up to 2. And me and Michelle could do it, each of us could do it together. So it'd be either me or Michelle doing the personal heart power hour. How does that sound? So I just feel so like I got up at 2 more. Why am I up writing this stuff? Why am I scribbling on this pad? And it's so John, sign me up, bud. My soul started at 2 a.m. this morning. My physical body is just catching up now.
So this is so exciting. This is exactly, it's unlimited. And each one of us are centers of powerhouse of for the good of the whole, and whatever comes through can be your beautiful contribution and piece. It's and no two have to be alike at all. How wonderful.
So I sort of kind of feeling my way into seeing where does this fit in with what I'm doing and feeling called and directed to. And I'm a certified belief clearing coach. So I've been working with a group in my evolutionary empath group to be able to clear as a group, but we're really working towards and working for the ability to clear archetypal beliefs, like clear them from the consciousness of all of culture. And so I've got another certified coach who's also a practicing psychologist, and a few others that are interested in working with me on this, so I can invite them into this hour. And then whoever shows up for the call would be able to really experience their own personal beliefs. And then we take those personal beliefs and clear them. Where is that hitting all of culture? Like, where is that everyone's feeling this? Oh, I'm not safe to go outside. Oh, I have to stay away from people. And really clearing that from a level of which there's a deeper knowing of, I'm safe, I'm whole, I'm being with others. But anyway, we have techniques in which we're really working with it on a very scientific basis, as well as to how to locate yourself in a physical form in order to have the point of most influence in the quantum field. So there's a little bit of science and a little bit of just the psychology of it all rolled into one. And in completing this, though, the 2 hours is about the right amount of time that it takes to really do this with the group. So that part's fine. Doing it every day, that's really dicey. So, committing to it once a week, maybe. I'm not sure what you're considering the scheduling would be. It's, or if it's just a sign up for the hour that you're available and can do this consistently every week as opposed to every day. Does that sound more reasonable to have done? Okay.
Well, if you think about the logistics of having people sign up for an hour, and we're talking about 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's a bunch of people. So the idea is to have someone who's responsible for having someone in that hour or 2 hour slot every day. So that would be folks like John and me and Linda and whoever else.
You could do 1 day. People who want to do 1 day a week, say like Sundays for the 1 day week people. Then that would give everyone else a break. So that if people want to commit to 1 day and then just take 2 hours, if you're doing 1 day a week, take 2 hours so we can, and then let everyone else have a break that day. And then everyone else keep the regular schedule the other 6 days.
Well, I'm thinking
just another idea just to accommodate people who do it once a week to give them an opportunity, but then let other people then have at least one total day off, Sunday or Saturday type thing, and then do the rest of the time. Yeah. I mean, it's an idea to encourage people at least to do it once a week.
Right. Well, I'm thinking myself, I'll take 4 or 5 days off a week. I mean, I'll have enough people on my team that doesn't require me to be there any more than, I really need to be there. And I see people will turn our Zoom channel on in the morning and watch it all day long. Just like they watch MSNBC or Fox News or whatever they have on, because it'll just be something that they can connect in and do. So they'll see all these different shows every day.
I think, Glenn, that's a beautiful thing. And the other piece is what came through was our good of the whole network in and of itself. Once they see the format, we're going to have, because I was thinking, I could have people from my community say, hey, would you come in here? But they still need to be facilitated by someone who knows our process, who can hold the container. And we have, when we think about the numbers of people engaged in good of the whole, if this is put out, then I've got to believe there'd be a lot of people in our organism that would love to participate in this.
So to give voice, at least a part of me, and I'm in a busy area, is to the suggestion to start small and then see if we want to expand, to see how it's going and see as we get rooted in this, then to see what it wants to grow towards, to take a next step rather than to start energetic, because it's an energetic commitment, and just to realize what that might mean, and also that sometimes small is beautiful if we can. I mean, for me, I'm more drawn to doing 1 day, 1 hour, and people will be able to tune in afterwards, because the energy of what happens there, if we can keep it very clear, pure, and focused, then it'd be more powerful than something that, that's kind of on just happening 24 hours at least. So that's what I want to share for now.
Kate will pick up the feather on that, because I thought the same thing, Henry. On Monday, I know when we had our coherence call, I immediately sent that out to everyone and said, it's a great place to do, check it out. But like our sister Julie is going to be doing an interview on Empower Radio in 40 minutes, 30 minutes? I've always been crazy that this conflicts with their call time. So there's so many things like Empower Radio that you can turn on and listen to for the day. So I don't know. I'm feeling, I want to tell everybody about good of the whole, because you can go to the darn website and be entertained for hours. There's just so many places to be distracted. So I don't know. I love the idea of bringing everyone into the coherence call and then allowing, but it's beautiful what you ambitious souls want to do. I could probably do a grandmother hour if it goes there, but I'm thinking, because everybody needs their own space kind of to assimilate. But I agree, people just need to be heard. But I think with our social networks that we can, there's already kind of those avenues to look up your friends and family and discuss these things that are getting on with you. So I like the weekly intensives more than the 24-hour buzz. And that's just some thoughts of me. I'll pass the talking stick.
So just to pop in real quick, Nahid, I know you're going to get in, but I just got a message from Sweet Julie saying we will have a master Google Calendar that everyone can access, where people can sign up and change or trade with others, but we'll have a master calendar for people to plug in as they're available or have something that they choose to offer. Just thought I'd throw that in.
I am being with this the 24 hours. This kind of doesn't sink here for me either. As a possibility, I don't know, maybe we can continue with the Monday and Wednesday that we have had for so long, and having that to be the platform. And in a way, I can see between the 1 hour and 2 hours, it's like when you hold a session for someone, 1 hour is not really enough to take them through the experience and bring them to a completion with that. But at the same time, I don't know, as a group on the Zoom, how would that work? So I'm just being with that. So I don't know what would work. But what I'm seeing is the opportunity actually that it's like, get off your ass and do something, you know. We've been talking about this for a long time. And I see the opportunity co-hosting. This is a great idea. To bring those who we have been in the dialogue and we have to share understanding, that it can open up the space for those who wants to hear the newness in the conversation. I am looking into co-hosting with my creation partner, Ken Ferlick, who is an energy physicist, and I've been working for the last 22 years with him. So, well, I thought, well, it's been in my mind for a long time. We have done it for many years, but it's not really as it can contribute and impact to where we are right now. So my heart, I have this right now again, that I don't know what does it mean. Am I excited? Am I nervous? Am I whatever it is? But it feels right. It feels right to jump with our 2 feet. Just let's be wet together. So I will be contemplating and looking into that how it's going to come along. I'm grateful for last time Julie was saying, let's trust fear. It's like that trusting the fear and jumping in. I would say that for me, I'm saying, oh, today is my birthday, by the way. And it's like, what is the gift? For me, giving it to me is that which I am afraid most. And that which has been my blockage for maybe eons, that wants to release itself. So I would say this is the opportunity for us as individual and group. And after that, of course, it would be global. So happy to jump in together. I am complete.
Happy birthday, Nahid.
Thank you, my love. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Naeem. And you
Happy
love bubbles.
birthday. Happy birthday. Love, yeah, love bubbles.
Happy birthday.
Love
Bubbles.
How
I
does it
just
feel to
wanted-
turn 50?
I just wanted to I just wanted to jump in for what's going on inside of me is that we have all felt drawn for this mysterious reason that for the good of the whole, we want to contribute to the good of the whole. And what we've talked about in the last hour has moved us from thinking about what's my job, what's my work, to what is our work. We are definitely moving from me to we when we consider giving our time and our gifts and our talents just open to everyone. Down the road for financial support, I'm sure that Glenn and Julie and John can come up with ways, that's not my forte, to get a financial stream or donation stream to come through to keep Good of the Whole going. But it's sort of like we're not even thinking about that. We just are here to offer our hearts and to offer our experiences and our wisdom and love by really being present and letting other people share what they have to share. And that is really for the good of the whole. So I'm loving this. I really appreciate all of you. And yeah, thank you. I'm complete.
I want to add something to that. I like this co-hosting because, as you said, Gillian, it would take it out of presentation mode. It's like to have, even with the host, having a compassionate listening, you know, and just have the dialogue to be expanded through the participation of others. I like that idea very much.
And it could be an hour, maybe nobody even shows up. And we're there, and that number's available for anyone who wants to call in and be part of it. So it's just, we're just holding a space that is available for the planet.
And even if nobody shows up, we are present, the dialogue is going on, and it's going to be recorded and it's going to be on Facebook. So whoever, whatever time it is the time to hear that, they would hear it. So it's, yeah, they are declaring the universe, we are here. We are doing our own work. So I think that would be good enough.
And I feel like we can, from our hearts, appeal to the people we know to spread the word. Say, this is available. And anyone that would like to be part of this, we're here to listen. We're here to stay open-hearted. And I have to trust that people will respond. I really trust that. So we're coming up toward the top of the hour. I would like to hear, and I'm sure this recording will be here. I'm sure that the advisory council will continue to gather on this as soon as possible. And all of your input is so valuable, being the mentors, stewards that you are. I don't know, Glenn, Linda, what do you think? Henry, anybody, how to get specific information from all of our leaders here right into, and so we can just have your input registered. What do you guys think?
You want us to email it to Julie or to what? Our ideas? Or
But
what?
don't we have a Facebook? Do we have a private Mentoring Stewards page on Facebook? Everybody's on Facebook, right? I know we have, I think we have a, where it's just for the Mentoring Stewards that we can
We do.
do these ideas, talk about these ideas. We'll have it all in one place. Sometimes emails get mixed up.
That sounds good.
Okay.
So I would say the Good of the Whole Mentoring Stewards Facebook page. Just for us to get the format and their ideas and your hours and your questions, and we can respond to each other.
Awesome. I mean, that's wonderful. And today being Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I saw that, Linda. Wednesday. Indeed.
Right here.
Oh, good.
I think time is of the essence. And so if we can put, it doesn't have to be a perfect format, but just to get it going, Glenn, I think you're marking Monday as a start date would be a really wonderful time. I mean, that gives us a few days to get the logistics set up, the technology set up, hopefully, and then get started on Monday. So I would guess that each one of us, if whomever is up for this, to start thinking about when during our start date of Monday you would like to be a participant or a leader.
Sure. And one question for us will be, do we start at, think about, is it like 9 a.m. Eastern time? And go till what time Pacific time? You know, and just well, there's a few logistical things for us to think about as the advisory council and how we,
Why not
set those times
kick
up.
it off on the residents call? Do the already scheduled residents call on Monday? You know, kick it off from there. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Now, what
Yeah, I
time do you
think
do that? Yeah, what time does that residence calls? Way early for me, but that's
11
you guys
Eastern.
are good.
Yeah, 11 Eastern.
11, 10, 9, 8. That's like 5 in the morning here.
Right, and maybe the good thing about that is we have a dozen or 15 captive audience to kick this off with, and once we have the format a little bit more clear, be a great place to launch the word as to what's happening.
Yeah, you'd be switching people to a different Zoom, because we'll have a dedicated Zoom number, and it won't be this
That's
one.
true.
So we don't want, but the residence council and all those things will continue to exist, and this will just be another track that we'll be on, and people who come into this track will begin to learn about more of these programs that Good of the Whole has, and be supported in maybe migrating to the residence college or other things that we do. So in one sense, this is a marketing outreach.
Beautiful. Love you all. This is wonderful. I think we're launching something of real value here. I just feel it from inside out. You're also brilliant in what you do, and to share and to lead from that place of the heart. Can't go wrong. Henry, did you want to say something?
So just for a little clarity, just for people on the Facebook page, the Mentoring Stewards, to highlight especially the areas in our sharings that were salient for you, that really spoke to you, so we don't necessarily have to write a whole thing, but especially the pieces that stood out, that resonated for you. That's it.
Perfect.
I would like to have some clarity on the Monday, because it would be the fourth Monday, which would be my turn for the heart resonance. So if we're going to do it, at the time of the heart, the global heart resonance or not, then I would be more clear on that. I would like to have some feedback.
And I just need, sorry, Nahid. I just needed to jump in and say goodbye. I have another meeting I have to jump off, and thank you all, and I'll look forward to hearing more details. Bye.
Thanks, Oriana.
Hola.
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 Well, thank you, everybody. And I'm assuming that we're going to be in contact. Linda, you wanted to say something, didn't you?
No, but I was taking notes from this morning, so I will hop on Facebook. I'll do our page and try to just put some of these notes out there, so we can get refreshed and get it going.
Yeah. And so,
one thing we didn't talk about at all is Earth Day and Earth Month coming up. And Julie's comment when we talked on Monday is, why wait? Why wait? I was going to start a japa, the 40-day japa mala meditation on April 1st. So another thought, but we haven't even discussed any of that. So
I feel like we're going to be discussing a lot in the next couple of days, and see if it is feasible to start on Monday or not. We may be overambitious on that, but it feels like we can do something. But we're going to have to come together and see how that plays out. And all we can do is stay in touch with each other. And anything pops up, the brilliant light bulbs going, hey, what about this? I think that's what all of us need to do, and put it into the mix and see what we can play with. So thank you all very much.
thank you.
What fun.
All right.
Blessings, everyone. Hola.
Hola. Julie, feel better. Get well.
Yeah, Julie.
Well.
Really?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Nahid.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Nahid.
Have an awesome year.
Absolutely. It's the
The best ever.
Oh, she's gone.
She's gone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Henry.